Life Fixers, hope you're having an awesome day. Are you ready to rewire your brain for planning? Yeah, planning is a really big topic because planning is really mental operation. Mental operations we're going to talk about in the future because it's quite more complex. I'm just going to let you know now, mental operations is made up of cognitive functions, which are, for those of you who are first time listening, cognitive functions are the things that help us think efficiently and effectively. So when you combine some of the cognitive functions together, then you make a mental operation, but we're not going to talk about it now. However, there is a cognitive function. One of the cognitive functions is the need for a plan and the desire to actually carry out a plan. Making a plan is way more complex. However, I'm not just going to leave you here and say, okay, planning is way more complex, so that's why you're not going to be able to do this, because I think you're capable. Now, because it's a mental operation and different people have different cognitive deficiencies, have different weaknesses in their brain that's affecting their lives, different people have different reasons why they have a hard time planning. So we could discuss some of the ways that we're going to plan, but it's going to be over a couple of different episodes. Now, before I get into actually planning and why planning and all those sort of things, what are we doing planning in this episode right after Chris and Kim? Well, you probably only don't know the answer if you haven't listened to the previous episode, which you'll want to. But the previous episode with Chris and Kim was all about planning for your future so you could, open quotes type of thing, retire early. Now they have this whole system of living on just one salary or below your means or doing all sorts of different things. So that way afterwards you could really go have in the life you want. Now this is not for everyone. Everyone has different things, but it just gives you another perspective to see things differently, which by the way is another cognitive deficiency that we're going to talk about at a different time. But for right now, we are talking about planning. Because someone who has a hard time with planning is going to have a really hard time even thinking about the future, thinking about planning for their retirement. That is why a lot of people with ADHD people really live in the now. They see the now, they live the now, they enjoy the now, they experience the now, but they have a really hard time planning for the future. That's why a lot of times they're late. A lot of times they always have to rush things in the end because of the way their brain is wired. However, they are not stuck. You could always rewire your brain for anything else, literally anything else. So even if you've been ADHD, even if you've never been a good planner, you can start rewiring your brain for planning and becoming a better planner. I mean, for myself, I've been always a really good planner. Even in high school, I used to even then I would plan my day every single day the night before, which I still do. Years later, I still do it. However, my planning ability, my cognitive functions became way better and I plan way more efficiently and effectively. So that's a whole other story for another time. So back here now, planning for your retirement. So someone who has a hard time planning, I am not going to tell you, I am not going to suggest it's a good idea to go and plan right now for your retirement because you probably don't even it's a smart thing, but you can't really be able to go do it. So I will tell you, you might just want to start saving without even something so much, just start saving something just to have some sort of savings. So that way you don't come to 75 and not have any sort of retirement, right? First of all, just start with that saving right now. So that way, as you build up your planning abilities, you will become better at planning and preparing for your future. When I'm just want to stick this in here that I don't ever plan on retiring. I want to work straight through because I love what I'm doing. Wouldn't that be cool if the podcast runs all the way that long? Although I don't think it will, but just working, helping people, helping them rewire brain or whatever else I'm doing at that age. But what I'm talking about here is planning for any sort of money, any sort of anything. I think that sort of concept is really good. So if you don't do that yet, first of all, you want to just save, just do that now, put a certain percentage that every single month, no matter what, you put a certain percentage to the side, right? If you listen to episode 200 and you read Profit First, you for sure will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you'll want to go and do that. But for those of you who don't plan at all, you don't plan for events, you have a hard time when it comes to packing, planning your day, when you have busy schedules for the holidays, whatever it is. I'm going to give you a suggestion to start with. Now, some of you, this might be below you. Some of you, this might be way above you. I'm giving you a suggestion so people could take it and customize it for themselves, because again, it depends on what your cognitive deficiencies are. And that is, take everything and dump it on a paper. Literally, think of anything you have to do that day or for that event or whatever it is. And then you're going to write A, B, and C. A is a priority, what must have to happen and what has to happen first. B is anything in between, and C is like, if it's nice, if it happens. Just label everything A, B's, and C's, and then you are first going to do all the A's, all the B's, and all the C's. Try that, start with that, make it your own. If you do really want to work on all your cognitive functions and rewire your brain so you can really plan in the best way possible, or just be more productive, go to LifePix University /your brain rewired, and you'll find out all the information there. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye now.
That's all for this episode of the LifePix University podcast, but I have a huge favor to ask of you that will not only support the show, but will also help the people you love most. We are striving for 1 million downloads by the end of 2025, and we can't do this without your help. If you love this episode, please share it with 2 of your family and friends so they too can rewire their brains to have an extraordinary marriage. It was awesome spending time with you, and I'll see you on the next episode.